Sometimes God will close a door to open a window, you know? Sometimes God will close one bad door to open a good door. Sometimes he'll cut out a bad relationship to give you a good relationship. God allows suffering in this world because he wants to be the provider. He wants you to go to him and go to him in your weakest, when you're at your weakest. God doesn't want to go to you when you're at your most faithful. He knows you're already with him. God deeply wants you with him when you're at your weakest. When you have no money, when you lost a family member, when you have no job, when you don't know what you're going to do with your life, go to God. Go to God. He is the provider. He loves you so much. He says, whatever you ask in my name, if it'll glorify me, I will give you. You know, it would bring God glory to give you what you need to uplift your life, because then you can give thanks to him. Then you can glorify him in what he gave you. God loves us. I think people think that God is just a judgy God, and God is just someone who wants to send you to hell. Although I did make a video that he doesn't really send us to hell. You can go watch that video in the previous videos. But I want to tell you that God loves you so much that when you're brokenhearted, he's near. You just got to be willing to go up to him. And you want to know how God is working in your life when you're brokenhearted? When you're crying, when you're finally vulnerable as a man, or even when you're a woman, when you're vulnerable, or you're crying, or you're upset, God will give you a sense of peace in those moments. That's when you know God is truly there for you. When you say, God, I'm in pain. God, I've lost everything. God, I've lost a family member. God, I've lost, my fiance, or my man, right? I was cheated on, whatever. God will be near you in those moments, and he will uplift you and give you a sense of peace. He might even give you direction. Maybe there's something you're scrolling and God's calling you to that specific video, like I am right now. Maybe this video is for you. Maybe this video is a sign from God to give this to you, I think that God loves you very much, and that he is the provider. And that's why he allows us to suffer, because he wants to be the one to uplift us. He says, I will uplift you with my righteous hand. You know, he's near people that are brokenhearted and that weep. He wants to give us a way out. And I think that's really important to remember, is that, if we blame God for all the bad in our life, but God says, I'm going to give you a way out. Come to me, keep coming to me, and I will show you. Be like the persistent widow who kept asking and asking. God will eventually give it to you. If he truly sees it in your heart that it will benefit you and that you'll glorify him, he'll give it. Remember, God is the provider. He's always reaching out a hand to give you what you need. You just got to be willing to have that relationship and go to him.